Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn about the topic float in project management. As we know that while managing projects, it is important that the schedule is managed effectively. In case if the project schedule is not managed properly, it can lead to delays in project delivery. This will eventually create customer dissatisfaction and can also lead to the cancellation of the project. So, understanding the criticality of schedule management is important for all project managers. So, let's discuss the term float. Float, also known as slack. By the way, the word slack is outdated now and it is rarely used in project management anymore. I've just mentioned this word for your information. Float is the amount of time that a task in a project can be delayed without causing a delay to subsequent task or project completion date. It's the amount of time where we can manage or where we can delay our activities without delaying the start of the next activity or without delaying the project completion date. So float helps in identifying the flexibility in the project schedule. The word float is synonymous to the word flexibility in schedule. It means that if we have float in a project, we have flexibility to manage the schedule of the project. Now let's see the types of float. The first type is total float. The amount of time that the task can be delayed without delaying the project's overall completion date. So this type deals with the project's overall completion date. So for example, if a certain task is planned to be completed by day 10 and we have the flexibility in the project to delay this activity and complete it by day 12, that means that we can delay this task by 2 days. So this means that the total float for this task is 2 days. Now, next type is free float. The amount of time that the task can be delayed without delaying the start of any subsequent task. So the total float deals with the delays in project's completion date, and the free float deals with the delay in the start of the next activity. For example, if task A is scheduled to finish on day 5 and task B, which depends on task A, means which can only start when task A is finished, is scheduled to start on day 8, then we can say that we have a float of 3 days. Means that we can delay task A by 3 days without affecting the start date of task B. Now you can see this is a network diagram of any project which has 4 tasks, task A, B, C and D. We have already marked the critical path of this project which is A, C and D. If you have already watched the video on critical path, you will know that the float on the critical path is 0. This means that activities on the critical path cannot be delayed. If we delay the activity on critical path, this will delay the whole project. You can see that activity B does not fall on a critical path and activity C, which is in parallel of activity B, has a duration of 4 days. So as activity C takes 4 days to complete and activity B takes 2 days to complete, this means that activity B can be delayed for 2 days without delaying the overall project's completion date. It means that activity B has a total float of 2 days and activity A, C and D, like I mentioned, has a 0 float because they all fall on a critical path. So how to calculate float? In order to calculate float, you need to understand this diagram. This diagram has early start, early finish, late start, late finish. By using these terms, we can calculate float. But how can we find these terms? In order to find these terms, we have to perform 2 activities. First is forward pass and second is backward pass. Forward pass will give us early start and early finish, and backward pass will give us late start and late finish. You can also see 2 formulas of float here. First is float equals to late start minus early start, and second is float equals to late finish minus early finish. So let's start performing forward pass first. This is the same diagram which I showed you earlier in this video. To perform forward pass, we will start calculating early start and early finish of all activities starting from activity A. Forward pass will start from left to right, means from activity A to activity D. So the first activity is A, which has a duration of 3 days. So what will be its early start? Here we have mentioned early start day as day 1. We can also start with day 0. Both methods are correct, but for the ease of calculation, we are using day 1 as this early start of the first activity. So how many days it will take to complete task A? As we know that activity A has a duration of 3 days. This means that if we start activity A on day 1, it will take day 1, day 2 and day 3 to complete this task. This means that the early finish of activity A is 3. Now since activity B and C are dependent on the completion of activity A, the early start of activity B and C will be 4. This means that activity B and C starts one day later than activity A. So what will be the early finish of activity B? Since activity B starts on day 4, it will take day 4 and day 5 to complete this activity. The early finish of activity B will be day 5. Now, for activity C, we will use the same method. Since the activity C starts on day 4, it will take day 4, day 5, day 6 and day 7. So the early finish of activity C will be day 7. Now let's see what will be the early start of activity D. As we see that activity C completes on day 7, and since the start of activity D is dependent on the completion of activity B and C, so the early start of activity D will be day 8. Since activity C is completed on day 7 and activity D can only start after completion of B and C, therefore its early start would be next day of the completion of activity C. Now early finish of D will be day 8 and day 9. So as you can see that the completion of last activity would take place on day 9. So in order to confirm our calculation, we will cross check this value with the critical path duration. You can see that the critical path is A, C and D. And if we sum the duration of all these paths, it will be equal to 9. This means that our calculation is correct. Now we will conduct the backward pass. For backward pass, we will calculate late start and late finish. In forward pass, we perform the activity from task A all the way to task D. But in backward pass, we will reverse the working and start from activity D all the way back to activity A. So first, we will fill the late finish of activity D. What will be the late finish of activity D? It will be 9. Since after forward pass calculation, we know that the project will complete on day 9, we will start the late finish of the project from day 9. Now, what will be the late start of activity D? It will be day 9, then day 8. Because task D has a duration of 2 days. Therefore, the late start of activity D is 8. Now we have to fill the late finish of activity B and activity C. Now, can you guess the late finish of activity B and C? It will be 1 day less than the late start of activity D. It is because the late start of activity D will always be 1 day next than the activity B and C. Now to calculate LS of activity B and C, we will minus the duration of these activities. Like for B, the late start would be 7 and 6. And for C, it would be 7, day 7, day 6, day 5 and day 4. Now, the last activity is activity A. Here, the late finish of activity A would be 1 less than the least value of activity B and C's late start. That means the late finish of task A will be 3. It is because the late start of activity C is 4 and late start of activity B is 6. From both B and C, we will take the smallest value of late start. Here C has a smaller value of late start, which is 4. We will minus 1 from this value to calculate the late finish of task A. Now again, as we see that task A has a duration of 3 days, its late start would be day 3, day 2 and day 1. So this is backward pass. Now you have the value of late start, late finish, early start and early finish of all activities. And you can easily calculate float from these values. As I mentioned before that the critical path has 0 float. Therefore, you can see that the late start and early start or late finish and early finish of activities A, C and D which are on critical path are same. Therefore, the float is 0. So you can see that activity A, C and D has 0 float and activity B has 2 days float. This means that activity B has the flexibility and it can be delayed by 2 days without delaying the overall project's completion date. So that's how we can calculate float. That's all from this video. So if this video has been helpful for you, I would request you to like the video and subscribe the channel. Thank you.